Hi there, this is the March forecast for Aries Risings. So starting out on the 1st of the month, on March 1st, Venus will enter Aquarius in your 11th house. And where Venus goes, it can bring some increased ease and a sense of being somewhat more fortunate or having more grace in that area of life. So the 11th house relates to larger groups, larger associations, or communities you're a part of, which means that maybe dealings with friends in these social groups could become easier, and there may be increased amiability amongst those you are in a community with. On the 5th, Mercury will go retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces, and this will be in your 12th house. In particular, this will probably be a Mercury retrograde that you may not understand what's going on, or the miscommunications may not be clear to you during this time, because the 12th house can have to do with hidden matters in the first place. So there may be some miscommunications about things either behind your back or just simply that you're unaware of that are affecting you. So during this time, I would be sure to double check anything regarding mental health or spiritual endeavors, 12th house things. I would just double check. Mercury is already a bit troubled in Pisces, and with Neptune, March could overall be a fuzzy month. So keep that in mind if you have to do anything such as sign contracts or travel, to really be explicit and precise with your language during the month. On the 6th, Uranus will firmly enter Taurus in your 2nd house. And Uranus entered Taurus last year, but then it retrograded back, and now it will be firmly in Taurus for the next 7 years in your 2nd house of finances, material possessions, and goods. And where Uranus goes, it can bring a lot of radical transformation and upheaval, teaching you that you really don't know what you don't know. And within your house relating to money and possessions, it could be changing situations for you financially, not necessarily in a good or a bad way, but really changing both your financial material situation and changing your ideas about it. And if you haven't felt this yet, it has 7 years to come. So just something to keep in mind, that your thoughts about money and situation financially could really change, not necessarily in like a gaining or losing way, but you could just reframe your interaction with money in the next 7 years to come. On the 6th, there's also a new moon in Pisces in your 12th house. And new moons are times of new beginnings where we can plant seeds for the next 6 months to come to fruition when the full moon happens 6 months in the future. And in your 12th house, this can do with hidden matters like spirituality, like psychology, like going into introspection. So you may want to start picking up a spiritual practice, or a meditation practice would be a really great thing to set into place under this new moon. It's a quieter new moon, and it also maybe a more confusing one with that Mercury retrograde and with Neptune there. So maybe your intention for this new moon is to spend more alone time, or take more time out for yourself, or to investigate something psychologically in your world that's been troubling you. On the 20th, the sun will then move into Aries, and that will light up your 1st house in the sky, and it will become Aries season. So I would say happy birthday, but hopefully you're watching this from your rising sign. So with the sun moving into your 1st house, you may feel like the spotlight is on you a little more than usual, that you are getting a bit more attention, a bit more luminosity and appreciation for your ego or your thrust into the world. Could just have more increased activity and time of a bit more energy. On the 21st, there is then a full moon in Libra in your 7th house, and full moons are culmination periods for that area of life from the past 6 months. And in your 7th house, there may have been something relationship or partnership-wise that has been building up over the past half a year or so, and this is a culmination of that. So if you're in an existing bond, maybe something that bond itself began, or something regarding that bond began 6 months ago, and this would be a really good time to celebrate and to think of how you can culminate this and appreciate what has really come to a head, because this is a high point for the past 6 months in your sphere of partnerships and relationships that you can further enhance by acknowledging and taking space to celebrate. On the 26th, Venus enters Pisces in your 12th house, and with Venus entering your 12th house, I know with this transit for me, 12th house matters like meditation or spirituality became much more easy and much more accessible. So definitely a good time to go within. You could feel much more comfortable meditating or alone the 26th onward for the month. And there's a definite change in energy when Venus does move into your 12th house, because Mercury will be retrograde but coming to station soon. Actually, it stations direct on the 28th in your 12th house. So 26th, but especially 28th, when Mercury's direct in Pisces and with Venus there may be a bit more solidification and closure and ease regarding 12th house matters like your psychology or spirituality that could have been a bit hazy, unsteady, or difficult to attach onto during the previous weeks in the month. On the 31st, on the last day of the month, Mars will enter Gemini in your 3rd house. So where Mars goes, it can bring increased energy and drive, and it can also bring frustration, particularly if we were born during the day ourselves and have a day chart. So with Mars in your 3rd house, watch out for disagreements with siblings or mishaps regarding short-term travel. There could be an increased drive to express yourself or put your voice into the world, because the 3rd house has to do with communication. So it might be a really great time to start journaling or start writing specifically about maybe what's like bothering you or really involving your emotions. It could be a good time to get that out there because there's a lot of energy to get shit done in that area of life. Just watch out for any impulsivity or accidents regarding siblings or transportation. So overall, this is a month of both feeling like there's more energy regarding you in your life and you're getting more attention, but there's a lot of behind the scenes, both confusion and opportunity for understanding and getting to the bottom of things. So I hope this was helpful. I do private consultations, link below, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you soon.